What up guys, my name is Tyler, aka Recommend, and welcome to the Mew Week 2 Pickems. I'm joined here with MrCudlesthebear.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, good. I thought you were great. Former coach, coming back to the Pickems, good?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Maybe thinks about having a return, maybe even just a mentorship or kind of deal, you know? Looking at all this, it got some nostalgia going, so who knows?
Gonna share the knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah, with all these new Pokemon that came out too.
Yeah, I got some pretty interesting stuff. But
Yep, I'm excited to talk about it too.
Yeah, you ready to get on with our first team?
I am excited. I am.
Let's get on. We have Will versus Froze. This absolutely insane matchup with Champao going crazy.
So, right off the bat, you know Will's the OG. And he does have a Kilowatt roll in there. Kilowatt roll went hard when I ran the Steam team. However, I don't see any moths or any weather on his team, as opposed to Froze, who's got Torkoal, the greatest sunsetter ever, along with the Walking Wake, I would say the MVP of my team that I never used. Everyone prepared for it, and I never used it. And then Chien-Pao, he's my favorite of the Swords of Ruin, or the Beads of Ruin. And you know, Chien-Pao's just so good, Yeah,
it goes absolutely crazy.
As cool as Will is and all that, I gotta say, I don't like his matchup with this. I think Chien-Pao just takes out a lot of his team.
Chien-Pao and Walking Wake just go insane.
Yeah, and then he's just got stuff that can switch into what he has out that counters him. I think he's just got too many answers for Froze has too many answers for Will, and I think Froze takes it, like, I'd say 4-0, 3-0 maybe.
I agree. I mean, Blaziken is the best Pokemon Will has, I think, if he gets a speed boost up, but then this is just a great Tusk right there, and even a Talonflame could even stay in against a Blaziken, bow stab.
Yeah.
Just be wary of a Thunder Punch, and yeah, that Tusk is just switching into that all day. And Namorous and Kilowatt will do look solid together though. There's limited counters to those two. Although the Reverum just switches in.
Yeah, the Reverum switches into, and I think the Chien-Pao just eats those two up all day as well.
Yeah, it is everything. As long as it doesn't have a choice on it, because it likes to switch up its moves, bring a Psychic Fang to the Blaziken maybe, or the Sacred Sword for Empoleon.
Right.
So as long as it doesn't bring in the choice, maybe got heavy duty boots, black glasses, something like that.
Something that gives it maybe even a muscle band just for all of its physical moves, just to get a little bit of a power boost.
Yeah, that's not actually that bad. I'd probably bring Ice Shard of a Sucker Punch just to watch out of like a substitute Dragapult.
Yeah, that's what I think the biggest counter is that substitute Dragapult, just because it's so speedy already.
Yeah.
But then he's got some bulk with Bellable, and I mean even the Terra Greedent, which has, let me double check so I'm not wrong, Greedent, normal, fairy, and ground, which I think,
yeah, that's actually pretty good here.
The types are pretty good there, especially with that Dragapult there. Paired with its Cheek Pouch, I think really any form of 6 that Froze brings will be a good matchup overall against Will.
Yeah, there's not much that
as long as Chien-Pao is one of those.
Yeah, as long as he brings the Chien-Pao, you know, if he messes up on that, he's acting sus. Just trying to bring himself a challenge then. I don't know why he would do that. But yeah, the Torkoal, the Walking Wake, the Great Tusk, the Chien-Pao, those 4, insanity. And then you just bring 2 other Pokemon. That's insane.
I think the Torkoal comes just because of the amount of water types he has. Granted, the Blaziken could get a boost from it, but he's got so many counters to Blaziken, I don't think it'll matter too much.
Yeah, I keep looking down at the Necrozma, but then there are a few counters there. You know, Crocodile and Empoleon can probably wall it, Dragapult can switch in with the Ghost type, and it's iffy.
Right.
I'm also not sure how good actually Tusk is with 3 water types and 2 grass types.
Right. I don't think Tusk comes.
I think Kilowatt right there as well.
I think what he'll bring is Chimpow, Walking Wake, Rev of Room, Torkoal, Bellable, and Talonflame.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I could see Necrozma coming over Talonflame, but I think just having that extra flyer for Blaziken and that extra resist against most of Blaziken's moves will help out.
Yeah, I think so too. Both giving this win to Froze.
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0. Cuddle said it right here. Let's move on to the next game. We have Vortex vs Ersel.
Ooh, okay.
Iron Bundle goes crazy again.
I am an Annihilate stan. I really like Annihilate, and I like the matchup it has for this team.
Yeah, it does look very good.
And then he's got the Speedster and Iron Bundle that can take out what Annihilate really can't take out.
Yeah,
The
those
Drain
two
Punch
together,
Rage Phase
insane.
takes out pretty much all of this team. I have to look at the Drifblim and Tentacruel Terras real quick, just as a refresher. Okay, Flying Terra is interesting for Drift. Darkrai is my favorite mythical, so I have a little bit of bias there, but I like Annihilate too. He's pretty cool. But I know Vortex really likes to use Zoroark's ability a lot, and he's really good at using his ability and disguising what's actually out there. And I think that is a key advantage in this matchup.
Yeah, if he's able to place that Zoroark properly, that could be very good here. Like spamming Dark Pulses, maybe a little Ixa Sensor on a Hitmonchan.
Yeah, and that can help take out that coverage that he needs for Annihilate or Iron Bundle to finish up. The Deoxys defense is a spicy pick, I think. Let's see here. What do you do? Pick that third?
Yeah, and it was only 13 points.
Yeah, I like that pick. Paired with the Hisui and Gudra as well.
Wait. I thought Deoxys defense was so slow. It's got 90 speed.
It's pretty average.
Holy shit.
It's pretty average, but its defense is pretty good. And I think the extremes that he has with his attack and defenses and like really no in-betweens, I think is what can have the victory for Vortex this week.
Yeah, I think the in-between is Gudra Hisuian, which really doesn't have a good counter.
It really, it doesn't seem like there's a really good counter.
It's just Hitmonchan.
Except for Hitmonchan. And I think even with that, a Deoxys defense switch in or an Annihilate switch in could really take it out.
Yeah, even a Dash Bun down there.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even. Yeah.
I don't know how Ursa wins this offensively. My only mind goes to a Namorous set with Iron Defense, Calm Mind, Earth Power, Draining Kiss, which Vortex has faced before in a previous season of the video.
He's got that experience going up against it. I'm interested to see what his Ursel's Jirachi set will be.
Yeah, I predict it will be special defensive with like T-Wave for the Iron Bundle. Yeah,
that's what I'm guessing too, just to help like even up the playing field for the speed tiers. Looks like I think Vortex wins this one. I think it might go a little bit long. I think it'll be a very stally on one side, which it might also have Vortex might actually plan for that too. So it might actually end up being 20 turns instead of 50 turns, you know, because I know Vortex is great at planning his team for each battle, going up against him in the past. I know he planned very well against me several times, and I think he plans. I think his plans will be very good going into this one, and I believe he'll probably take it 3-0 in a grueling match.
So I think he's just got the pressure and the bulk to do his team well here, and I don't think Ursula has the offensive power to really hurt down Vortex's team well.
Right.
Like Vortex could bring the Annihilate with Rest, it could bring Dash Bomb with Wish to give it to the Iron Bundle, Deoxys out there with Teleport, switching into things like the bundle. Gudra has so he can just roll.
Disguised as something else to bait him.
Yeah, if the Zoroark gets a nasty blood up, it's GG. Like it's over. If he decides there's a specific thing. Yeah. Gets up a nasty blood.
It's faster than all but Darkrai on his team.
Yeah, that would be insane. She just cries as maybe it's Salazzle? I don't really know. Salazzle's the only one that gets Nasty Plot that you can pretend that you still are using it while being a Nasty Plot Pokemon. But disguising as the Deoxys defense would also be good.
Right.
Yeah, it's an interesting game, but yeah, I'm giving it to Vortex 2.
Okay, nice.
You're also,
I agree.
yeah, giving it to Vortex.
Yeah, Vortex 3-0 in like a 50-turn match.
Yeah, I think Tentacle will do some stuff here, whether it's Terra and Regieleki being like the main counter to it. I mean, I guess Torterra could be, but doesn't really want to take a poison type move on switching.
I see a lot of toxic attempts.
Yeah, I do see that too.
From Ursel's side, and I see a lot of switch-ins to Goodra, Hisu and Goodra, just to stop those toxics.
Yeah, that could be a thing. And yeah, I think Salazzle also has a good matchup here. Between Sludge Waves
I believe so too.
Flamethrowers.
It's got yeah, it takes out Rillaboom, Jirachi, Enamorus, resistance to Rotom, Tentacruel.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay, you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
We have that one guy, our good friend, versus Toad.
Right. So I gotta be honest here. I have not seen any gameplay with Terapagos, so I can't give you my honest opinion there. However, I am seeing an Iron Moth from Toad.
Ooh.
And you know me with the moths. However,
a Frost Moth.
That one guy has a Terra Frost Moth, which is how I ran my Frost Moth every time. And Terra Frost Moth, pretty naughty if you can get it set up.
Cuddles is tied.
And yes, I'm leaning a little bit towards Toad in the fact that I think the Iron Moth. Well, hold on. Let's think about this.
The Iron Moth does look very good here.
The Wo-Chen is a dark poison water Terra, and Frostmoth is ice, water, electric. You mentioned earlier, before we started recording, that you think Frostmoth should have got the ground typing for one of its Terras, and I agree.
Yeah, would have been good here as well.
I think water and ground would have been better picks for it. Just for like overall coverage, and they all get Terra Blast too, correct?
Yeah.
The ones at Terra. And I think Frostmoth has a pretty good special attack, and its ability Icy Scales cuts all special moves in half that attack it. And I think it could be great, but not in this sense, considering most of his attack. Well, I guess Dragonite could be a mixed attacker, but I think that Samurott can poke it a lot.
Yeah, Samurott does have a good matchup here, I think. With a Razor Shell, Ceaseless Edge, Sacred
the Roaring Moon. It's got a good matchup against Roaring Moon and Iron Treads. I don't remember Pheasantipides typing. It's like Poison and Flying, I think.
No, it's Fairy. Poison Fairy.
Poison Fairy. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got
weird stuff.
It's Swampert.
This
one is a tough one. There's a lot of, it seems like, throwaway picks for Toad, because he had so much at the top half of his draft, and then he's got Sableye kind of okay, but like the 1 and the 2 at the Charger Bug. Excuse me. I assume you had to fill out your roster. There was no less thans. It looks like it.
Probably that's what they needed, like a Stealth Rocker and Knuckle Stack maybe, and then just getting up Charger Bug. Didn't have an electric type before. I think Charger Bug's electric type. Maybe it's pure bug.
I'm not sure. I don't imagine Charger Bug is gonna be brought ever, because if you need a T-Waver, you have Sableye with Prankster, so...
I think maybe it has Sticky Webs.
Sticky Webs would be cool. But I don't think it's needed in this sense. The speed tiers are pretty even.
Yeah, no, it's not needed in this
most
matchup.
Part. I like the Iron Moth.
Roaring Moon goes absolutely crazy.
Roaring Moon does go crazy, and I think the Iron Moth also goes crazy.
Yeah, those two are going to be the big powerhouses here, I think.
But the thing is, which one will get the upper hand first? And I'm not really seeing anything leaning either side to really sway me.
I think I would give this one to Toad.
You think so? Why?
I think the Samurott with Ceaseless Edge and its water type coverage and stuff. Zapdos Galera also looks very good here. And so does the Iron Moth. King Gambit doesn't have too much counters here. Moltres is the best switching. I think.
Mhm.
Quagsire just looks like it can come in and roll here. Wu-Chan isn't a Pokemon that is normally running a grass type move. It's going normally
Right.
wool with Leech Seed and stuff. So I think Quagsire is pretty fine here. Sylveon can pretty much spam its Hyper Voice. I mean, Frostmoth is probably the defensive counter, and Pheasantipity doesn't resist it since it's Poison Fairy. Actually, it does resist it. Oh, I'm sorry. As it does resist Hyper Voice. Yeah, I think I'm just leaning a little bit more on the Toad side. Although that one guy does have Roaring Moon and Iron Shreds. Wu-Chan's good defensively.
Yeah,
Which is interesting.
But yeah. Okay, I agree with you. I think it'll be
barely 50-50.
whoever makes a wrong move first or gets predicted first will end up losing the 50-50 right then, and then end up losing it down the road unless another mistake is made by the other person. It's a really even matchup, I believe. But I'm gonna give it to Toad just for the Iron Moth bias. Since I think it's this 50-50 matchup.
Yeah, I also think
I do like a Terra Frost Moth, but the fact that there's no ground type kind of shies me away from it. I mean, there's a ground on Iron Treads too, but the steel typing also kind of
yeah, it's slower than Iron Moth. Also gets pretty ruled by Zapdos.
Oh yeah,
even the
yeah, I'll give it to Toad,
in.
but I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-0, maybe a 1-0 even.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close unless one of them can start setting up sweeping. Like Iron Moth gets booster energy out, fiery dances.
What are your thoughts on that one?
That's the I think. Unless Iron Moth can start setting up with like booster energy and fiery dance, then or Roaring Moon start setting up with dragon dances, then I think it's gonna be a close battle. Guys, I think we lost Cuddles. Cuddles, you all good?
Yeah, I'm all good. I said I think Toad will be a 2-0, maybe even a 1-0, and then I asked what your thoughts were, but I didn't hear anything, so maybe I was disconnected for a second.
Yeah, I think so. I said I think it will also be very close unless one of them can like set up sweep with like, the Iron Moth fiery dance boost energy or a Roaring Moon with dragon dance.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Toad 2-0, 1-0, 2-0 or a 1-0.
Yeah, me too.
But I think this will be probably the closest matchup this week from just looking at the matches.
Yeah, I think so too. It's probably gonna be the closest game. You ready to move on?
Ready.
Let's go forward to Kingdozo versus Staarii.
So looking at last week's matches, Kingdozo did very well against his opponent, which was Vortex, and Vortex is a respectable battler. So I feel like he's going to carry over that momentum to this week. I do see that there's a Spectrier there, and that guy is pretty quick. And then there's also the Screamtail, who is kind of a wall sometimes. But Kingdozo has a little guy we call Corviknight.
Kingdozo's team is crazy. Look at this. Latios, Corviknight, Tinglu, Sneasler, Indeedee, Sinistcha. What?
Yeah, Sinistcha is pretty cracked.
Yeah. Oh my god. I don't think it's as cracked in this game because there's a Gouging Fire and a Grafairy and Lucario.
But just in general, like just playing the DLC, I used it a little bit and it was pretty cracked. I do like the Latios in this. I think it's got some pretty nice matchups, but I think
he's gonna have to set up a Dragon Dance and it can do pretty well.
He's gonna set up with the Dragon Dance, obviously.
But even then, Skarmory could wall it.
Latios doesn't get a Thunderbolt?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it gets Mystical Fire, but if it was Dragon Dance, it would go physical moves.
Oh, right. I'm about to look this up real quick.
Man's doing the research.
Alrighty.
Bro, Sneasel looks insane right now. Oh my god.
I do like the Sneasler here. I'm eager to see what set Kingdozo brings for it.
And probably second seed is with Indeedee.
That's what I was anticipating because of the Indeedee. But I don't know. I've played Staarii a couple times, and I think Staarii might have that same plan with Grafairy.
Oh yeah,
and it gets acrobatics. as well, and I think it could take out the Sneasler before the Sneasler could take out the Grafaiai.
Yeah, maybe. Although that Corviknight is a good switch into Grafaiai.
Yes, the Corviknight is a good switch in, but if Sneasler's already out, why risk the Psychic Seed? The Psychic Seed would just be a waste at that point, huh?
Yeah, it would. It would indeed. How's your research still, no then?
Terrible. I didn't go to Showdown. I should have just went straight to Showdown.
Yeah, also Meowscarada looks pretty good here.
I do like the Meowscarada here. It looks like there's a bunch of weaknesses to Meowscarada, being Tinglu, Vaporeon, Indeedee, Sinistcha.
Latios is weak to the knockoff.
Oh yeah, Latios is weak. I forget all the time that it's Psychic as well.
Yeah, and you bring on a low kick, then it can also be good against the Arcanine and Hisuian.
Yep.
This is an interesting matchup. Have you seen Gouging Fire in play?
I have not seen Gouging Fire in play. I've only seen Walking Wake.
Yeah, Gouging Fire is pretty insane. It can set up Dragonite to start Earthquaking, Flare Blitz, and Outraging. It actually looks pretty good here. Tinglu is probably the main defensive counter, maybe a Vaporeon.
So Latios does get Thunderbolt.
Oh, okay. So it can do some stuff right there to Blastoise and Skarmory.
Right. Does not get Mystical Fire like you thought.
Oh, really?
It actually doesn't look like it gets any fire moves.
Oh, damn.
Other than Sunny Day, which is classified as a fire move. But
it is.
It does get Aura Sphere, which can help with the Meowscarada.
It could. It could. Although it's slower than Meowscarada.
True.
I think I would give this one to Kingdozo. I think they just have the defensive and offensive here. Just look so smooth. I just really like this team. Tinglu, Corviknight, Sneasler, Indeedee, Latios, Arcanine, Hisui, Vaporeon with the Wish. Sinistcha is the main bulk down there. Playing the main bulk, but it's bulky as hell. What do you think? Who you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards Staarii. Just a little bit. I understand. At the beginning I said Kingdozo might come in this with the momentum from last week with the big win, but I think there's more answers for Staarii than there is for Kingdozo has for Staarii. I do like the Corviknight from Kingdozo's side, but
yeah, like I definitely see the potential here. Like Gouging Fire, Spectria, Meowscarada. They all look very good. I mean, Skarmory can just stay on lots of these Pokemon here. And then Blastoise could potentially get a Shell Smash up and do some insane stuff.
Right. But Cryogonal does get, I believe Cryogonal gets Freeze Dry too, right?
Yeah, it does.
So that could be the answer for Blastoise if that happens.
Or just Vaporeon.
I believe. Oh yeah, but I believe Blastoise.
Blastoise has an Aura Sphere.
Blastoise gets Body Press to fight the Cryogonal.
Yeah, that too. I also think it gets Flash Cannon.
It does get Flash Cannon, but if it Shell Smashes, you're gonna use a physical move too anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I guess it raises special attack too. Okay, so yeah, it really doesn't matter. Yeah,
it could do either.
It would probably do special attack because it's got a little bit higher of a special attack. But it also gets Dragon Pulse.
Ooh.
Which
I mean, it also gets Ice Beam as well.
Right.
Yeah, it has lots of good coverage.
I just think there's more answers. Staarii has more answers for Kingdozo's team than Kingdozo has answers for Staarii's team, and I think that'll ultimately be the difference. And
what are you predicting? The differential?
This one's almost as close as the last one, but I think it'll end up being a 3-0 on for Staarii. I think Staarii outlasts Stall, and ultimately ends up winning it in the end with a Blastoise reverse sweeping or something like that.
Maybe.
I think he goes down 3-6, and then Blastoise just comes in and finishes up a lot of them.
Yeah, that could happen. Kingdozo would just have to keep some of these defensive walls, like maybe Cryogonal and Vaporeon in the back.
I think Vaporeon would be too scared of Meowscarada. I don't think
it could be.
Vaporeon comes necessarily to the match because of the Meowscarada. Is really the only answer Vaporeon is for
the Blastoise and Gouging Fire
would just be the Wish.
But yeah, it would also be good for the Wish, yeah.
But he can do that with other Pokemon too. That I just don't see Vaporeon coming just because it doesn't seem like it has a good matchup.
Or at me. You'll have seen replays. But we have chosen our peoples. It's good to have different opinions. I chose Kingdozo, you chose Staarii. It's good to see.
We'll see at the end of the week.
Yes, indeed we will. Do we have another game? Yes, we do. We got our last game.
We have the last game. Oh, Cprime.
Oh, Cprime.
Oh, pretty.
Pretty?
If Cprime is running a snow team, like I think he's running a snow team, then
yeah, he is.
That's pretty cool. It's almost as cool as when I ran the snow and sandstorm team, but not as cool as the steam team. Nothing's as cool as the steam team.
No, steam team's the goat. This is interesting matchup. It's electric terrain versus snow.
Right. He's got, let's see here, Ramperdos has 3 that can utilize the electric terrain because of the booster energy, or not booster energy, whatever that ability's called. Hyper Iron Drive or whatever. Cork Drive, yeah.
Yeah, Valiant, Iron Boulder, and Iron Jugulus.
However,
Iron Boulder goes crazy.
Alolan Ninetales versus Toxapex matchup is interesting because Alolan Ninetales can freeze dry and Toxapex is poison type.
Yeah, I think Toxapex wins that.
Yeah, just because of its bulk.
Yeah, he's just toxic and recover.
However, I do like the Cprime. I like it, but I don't because of the Iron Valiant and the Iron Boulder.
Yeah, Iron Boulder goes absolutely insane here.
It does. It really does, and I don't like
fighting move.
I don't like that. It depends on because his I assume Ramperdos has Gliscor for the defog, and I assume Cprime has Ariados for sticky webs.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's Cyclizar with Rapid Spin too.
And so does Brambleghast.
Brambleghast gets Rapid Spin?
Yeah.
The more you know. However, I do like the Golden Go. The Golden Go is always spicy.
That do be spicy.
I haven't seen Ursaluna Blood Moon played yet, but I imagine it's pretty powerful.
It's broken. Earth Power, Blood Moon, it's just crazy.
If it's so broken... Oh, it's a 17. Okay. I'm like, how did he get it so late in the draft? Okay.
Because people are crazy.
Fair.
Yeah, it's a crazy Pokemon, especially here in this matchup. Just Earth Power and the Blood Moon move. It just goes absolutely insane. And
is Kyurem's Scale Shot banned?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Like but also, Earthworm just walls that Kyurem.
It does.
Yeah, with the Earth Eater. Insanity. I would give this one to Ramperdos. I think the Iron Valiant, the Iron Boulder, the Gliscor, and Toxapex is the Bolt just look absolutely insane. Yeah, even Typhlosion down there at the bottom looks like
that Typhlosion. I feel like that Typhlosion will put in some work because it's good against Ninetales, Golden Go. It gets Iron Head, so it could take out Kyurem.
Yeah, I think Cprime's best Pokemon would be like the Ogerpon and the Jolteon. Maybe the Kyurem, but Jolteon and Ogerpon are really gonna have to hold this down for the team.
I could see the Mesprit like doing something too, but the Iron Jugulus there is also a concern for that. The speed tiers are really what get me too. Like Ramperdos has 6 Pokemon with over 100 speed base stat. Yeah. And Cprime only has 3, and those 3 have bad matchups. Well, I guess Jolteon doesn't. But like, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Ramperdos takes it. As you mentioned, the Earthworm, the Incineroar might end up coming, but it's so slow compared to what his team has to offer as a counter.
Yeah, I agree.
How did Cprime do week 1 is my question. Next, Cprime lost to Will. Okay. The Lurantis and the Blazing. Yeah, so from looking at that last matchup alone, it seemed like the speed was the issue, and I think it's going to be the issue again this week.
Yeah, especially with booster energy. I mean, like
booster energy,
drive able to
not
boost up
even. Yeah, you don't even need the booster energy. Just booster the Quark Drive on top of a different held item even would really go in on this team.
Pretty damn insane.
I think I agree. I think Ramperdos takes it like 4-0 maybe even a 5-0.
Yeah, scary stuff right there. I mean, Cprime could bring some certain stuff that can turn it around. Like the
Cprime is a great battler, great prepper. If he ends up winning it, all props to him. But it's just tough to see the speed difference overall going into this.
Yeah, and I don't see too much bulk for some of these things that Ramperdos has, like the Valiant and the Iron Boulder. I don't see the bulk switching in. I do not see. But is that all you got to say?
That's all I have to say.
Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button on Vortex's video. Exactly. And say thanks to Cuddles for joining us.
Thank you, Cuddles, for joining us.
Say thank you to yourself.
Oh, I thought you were asking me to say that.
I was asking them to say it.
Oh, got it.
Okay, see you guys.